And a quick appreciation to all of you, both ends, because you guys out there have been patient enough to wait for us, but we had a great opportunity. So thank you, Lake Orion, for allowing us to jump in with your sales meeting and actually being able to hear Phil with this. And again, you heard me with my promotion that I had an opportunity to listen to this Ms. Stephanie Alfonso last week and went, wow, what great timing. So I'm going to be honest with him, Stephanie. Stephanie is representing Constant Contact. And she's got a wonderful offer for you that you can take advantage of Constant Contact. But the beautiful part is that she's taken the time to share with you how to use AI in your business. So we got fairly familiar with what it is and how it works, but we've never gone into the aspect of how to build it in your business so that it'll help you make money. And so with that, Stephanie, it's all yours.
It's all mine. Thank you so much, Darwin. I appreciate it. And I do want to make mention to you guys as wonderful Michiganders. I am from Florida. I have been in Florida. I shouldn't say from. I'm actually born and raised in Massachusetts, but I lived in Florida for 30 years, raised my family there. And recently, after being in Florida for 30 years, keep that in mind, 4 months ago, we moved to Colorado. And I have to make mention of this, Darwin, because I never understood as a Floridian the value of a puffer vest. And I see you have a puffer vest on today. And it wasn't until this week when I realized a puffer vest is one of the most valuable assets when you live in a cold or mild climate, because I think it's the best article of clothing that's ever been invented. So just wanted to make mention of that. Floridians learning to live in cold weather I could do a podcast on it. But anyway, thank you all so much. Yes, AI is a topic I love to talk about. And the reason why I love to talk about it is because I was raised by a realtor and a mortgage lender. My mom is still a mortgage lender after over 40 years. And I find it very, very important to be able to talk about aspects of technology that are going to make a difference in our business, but also make it make sense. And I love what you said, Darwin, of ultimately, how can we make money? Like, how is this going to help our business? Because every company talks about AI and everyone's like, oh, AI this and AI that. And most of us are sitting back going, okay, but how can I use it? But how can it help me? Right. So that's what I want to lean into. Oh, we might have to mute Bill. Sorry, Bill.
Sorry.
No problem. No, you're totally good. We might want to put you on mute just so in case you need to take a call. There you go. All right. So this is me. Hello. I work for Constant Contact. I get to focus on how I can create content and education and partnerships around the real estate industry. That is what I focus on. It is my love. It's my passion. I've been teaching agents for over 10 years in the real estate space. So I hope that comes across for you guys here today. Stay interactive. Throw messages in the chat box if you guys want to ask me a question. We will have a question and answer. I'll check the chat box periodically. But feel free. And then also I'd be happy to send you guys. I've got a 2025 marketing calendar that I'll send to you, Darwin. You can kind of give it to everybody. And like an AI prompt guide. I'll send all that kind of cool stuff to you guys as well. But before I dive in, everyone in our class, Darwin mentioned I am with Constant Contact. I do have a cool offering, and my offering is you guys all have it for free for the next 30 days. So what I would love for you guys to do is take out your handy dandy phones and scan that QR code. And all you have to do is put in your email, and it will actually activate an account for all of you guys. For free. So everything we're talking about here today, you guys for the next month, practice it, use it, see how it makes a difference. Send an email, create a newsletter with it, do something that you learned here today. I want you guys to be able to implement it. If you can't scan the QR code, I will put the link in the chat box so you can click on it for those of you who are online. Let's see, put it in the chat box. There we go. Oh, I think it only linked part of it. So copy and paste that and put that in your browser, guys. And that will give you guys the free trial for Constant Contact. After the trial, everybody always asks me, you guys, I'm going to honor the same discount that for the association that I met Darwin with, where you guys will get 30% off as well. So if you guys see that QR code on the screen, that's what it's for. And you guys can ask some questions about it, but let's go ahead and move forward. Okay, so we're going to talk about how we can use AI to help us to build our brand, stay top of mind, send an email once a week, get on social media once a week, all the things we know we should be doing, but we don't have the time, the interest, or the expertise to get it done. Can I get an amen? Do you guys feel that way? I think most of us struggle that way. AI for content creation, for campaign creation, to ensure deliverability. All these things are so important. And I understand that when it comes to AI, it's infused in every single aspect of our real estate business, whether it's through data insights, risk assessment, fraud detection, lead generation, predictive analytics, automating tasks, you name it. AI is infused in every single tech aspect of our business. 10 years ago, it was, and I know that's not that long ago, but it was so different in the way that I used to coach agents. And kind of like point here, do this, do that, click here, click that. Social media was a thing, but it wasn't like it is now. Back in those days, it was enough to just be on social media. But now, because of the algorithms and targeting and all these things, it's so much more complex. So I hope that I can kind of break it down and give you guys a starting point, because it will change your business, especially with how competitive it is now and how we've got so much division within the industry, all this stuff. So let's zero in on where it's going to make the most difference in your business. I'd love to hear from you guys. What are some of the challenges you guys are facing when it comes to branding, when it comes to content creation? Not only does it help me to be a better instructor, but I want to make sure I hit on those points. So definitely put that in the chat box, or just hold on to your questions and we can turn the mics on at the end of class and we'll hit some of that. All right. So this is the slide that I could teach on this slide alone for the rest of my career, because it matters and it really encompasses everything that really makes a difference in the real estate space. We are a repeat and referral business. We are a relationship building business, and 86% of your business is going to come from your list, your database, your sphere, 86% of it. Where does your database live? In your email, in your phone. Your database is everything. But check it out. 66% of realtors say none of their business comes from paid sources. 81% of realtors say none of their business comes from virtual tours. And these are things we're spending a lot of money on. 66% of realtors say none of their business even comes from open houses. The majority of all of your business is coming from your list. And yet, agents are only retaining 13% repeat business. Holy smokes. Check it out. There was a study that was done by NAR that studied a group of buyers and sellers, to which when they bought or sold, 91% of them said, I would use my agent again. Fast forward to when they bought or sold again. Guess what? Only 13% of them actually used the same agent. Whoa, right? This is basically putting into a stat of when we drive down the road into our neighborhood and we see 3 for sale signs, and we actually sold those homes, 10 years ago, and now we're not selling it again. What happened? They forgot about you. You became forgettable. How easy is that to become forgettable? In the day and age where everything is so social media and click, and we've got 50 million realtors all around the same lake, how are you guys going to become memorable? And that's what matters. And AI will help us to do those things. But the foundation of real estate has not changed from 50 years ago. Relationship building. I don't care what side of clear cooperation you're on. I don't care how technical you are. It all comes down to how your relationships are kept and built. And obviously, we need to lean into digital means in order to do so in today's day and age. So the value of content creation to build those relationships. Number one, of course, attract potential clients. People do business with people they like, know, and trust. or people they're friends, like, know, and trust. So we need to make sure that we're building that that familiarity, that credibility. We want to brand ourselves as the community expert, brand ourselves as the industry expert, so people trust us and our opinions. So people trust us to be their representative, and that we are what people expect us to be, the community expert. You need to know the local neighborhoods, the schools, the new developments. You guys are going to know about the land, like all of those kind of things. People need to understand. They need to understand what your fiduciary responsibility is, representing them, all of that kind of stuff. Brand awareness. Maybe you have a niche market. Maybe you specialize with first-time home buyers. Maybe you specialize, like my mom, she's does pre-construction loans. I'm like, Mom, years ago when I went on social media, I would never know that about her. So we want to make sure that everything we're doing, people know who you are and who you serve. Build that client engagement. Gone are the days, my friends, where it is just enough to be on social media or to send that newsletter that's just curated. It's automated. Listen, I've been there, worked for companies like that. Back in those days, 10 years ago, that was enough. I used to say it. I used to say, hey guys, it's not necessarily that what you post, it's how often, it's that you're posting. I kid you not. Nowadays, nope, not with the algorithms. You will never be seen. So stop wasting your time. We need to make sure we're posting content that's going to get engagement and ultimately drive those conversions. How are we going to build that brand? These are the channels. I'm going to keep it very simple. Social media, email, and SMS. That's the trifecta. This is how you're going to own the smartphone. This is where people live, right? So we want to make sure that we are managing that trifecta effectively. We know that it is stressful. As a realtor, none of us get into the business because we want to be marketers. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Most of us don't. And we feel stressed out, like we have to run a media company or a marketing agency. When we think about being on all three of these platforms, right? Or when we're making sure we're creating content for all these platforms. So I'm going to show you ways to make it easy. So let's talk about email first. How can AI help? We'll get into that, but we need to understand the value of why we need to make sure we're sending emails out. Listen, if you take nothing else from me, send an email once a week to your database. Forever and ever, your business will change. Like mic drop. If you guys tune out at this point, so be it. I'm just kidding. Don't turn out. But that's the most important thing you're ever going to hear coming out of my mouth. When it comes to marketing, send an email, same day, same time. Pick a day. Every Wednesday, 9 a.m. I got an email that's going out. It's habit forming. It's going to build credibility. It is going to brand you as the expert. It is going to build like, know, and trust. It is going to help you stay top of mind forever and ever. Send the email once a week. Yes? All right. Everyone's like, all right, girl, I have no time. How are we going to get this done? I'll get there. I promise. 61% of consumers say they enjoy receiving weekly emails. And for every dollar spent on email marketing, there's a $36 return on investment. Email marketing is the most inexpensive form of marketing you will do. Truly. I'm at Constant Contact. Constant Contact platforms start at $12. Okay. This is not an expensive game here. I've sold leads for many years. I've done all the things. I'm getting older now. I'm a grandmother of two. My twin daughters got married graduated college 3 years ago, got married 2 years ago, and just had babies 4 months apart. Like, holy smokes, right? Pretty cool. But, keeping me on my toes, that's for sure. So I tease, but listen, I've done all the things. Now I just get to teach and get to say, hey, this is the stuff that means a lot. This is the stuff that matters. Stop spending money on all those leads that you're not even following up on. Manage your database. It's your pot of gold. That's your pot of gold. Very, very inexpensive. And it is more effective than Twitter and X combined. Surprise. Guys, you don't own your email list. I mean, wow. You don't own your social media list. You absolutely own your email list. Okay. That's the list you own. That's your company equity. That is everything. When our business, 86% of it comes from our list, your database is everything. Social media, if Facebook goes away tomorrow, if TikTok gets banned, whatever it might be, you don't own it. Now we're going to use it and we're going to leverage it for good. But I can tell you this, nothing will be as powerful as your database. So we want to use social media to grow the database. Good? Okay. Check it out. 34% of consumers are most likely to purchase via email 30% text message, 20% social media. Whoosh. Everyone says to me, really, I'm so shocked. They always think it's the other way around because business gets done in email. When you go away on vacation and you come home, you've been gone for 10 days and you got to get back to the grind. What are you stressed about? I got to catch up on my email, not my social media, not, oh my gosh, I got to catch up on my TikTok, right? This is where business gets done. We need to leverage it, and we're going to use the other two to augment it. People are reading email on their phones, 91% of them. People are checking, 91% are checking their emails every day, and 88% are checking them on their phones, which is important to keep in mind when we think about the kind of content we're putting out. So enter AI. How can AI help me? Because Steph, I don't have time. I don't have time to send the email out. I don't know what content is good content. What should I be posting? Should I send a newsletter every week? Should I send a newsletter every month? What does that look like? Is my broker's email enough? No, we got to do it personally. It needs to come from you. You are the CEO of your business. If you want to send out broker newsletters, awesome. But make sure you send something out on your own. With AI, it's going to help us to be stronger and faster. But we fear sometimes creating content with AI because of legalities and fair housing laws and budget and, what platform should I choose? So let's narrow this down. A couple things. I use ChatGPT every day, and I'm a good writer, but I still use it. It helps me create content. It helps give me details. It helps me to understand things. Yes, I have put in my ChatGPT before, help me explain this document as if I was a 10-year-old. Kid you not, really does help sometimes. Especially when you're doing legal documents, right? Which we have to do all the time. So ChatGPT is a great one. It is infused within Constant Contact. So you all have Constant Contact for free, use it. Google Gemini used to be called Bard, or any type of third-party integration. Of course, like I said, Constant Contact has it. You guys have that at your disposal. But these are just some recommendations that I would say to get started because there's so much value there. AI can help you create content. It can help you automate your content. It'll help you edit your content. Great example I always use is I work the Miami market. And a lot of folks in Miami have Spanish-speaking clients and English-speaking clients. So you can create one newsletter, and it can go in Spanish to your Spanish-speaking list, and it can go to English to your English-speaking list. What a great use of AI, very simply put. It can change things in other languages. That's super valuable. It can personalize your content. There's so many different ways that we can utilize this. And I'm going to show you guys how quick and easy it can be. Seriously, you can create an email in 5 seconds. So let's talk about some content ideas. What kind of content's good content? If we're going to do what Steph says and do an email once a week, what are we going to send? Again, for anybody who's new here, that QR code is for you guys to activate your free Constant Contact account. All you have to do is put in your email. You don't have to put in your credit card. Just your email will activate your account. You guys can use it for the next 30 days and use our team to ask any questions. Okay, what kind of content's good content? First and foremost, we want to have lifestyle content. What that means is just stuff that's not buy with me, sell with me, buy with me, sell with me. I love your referrals, buy with me, sell with me. Lifestyle could be community updates. Lifestyle can be, that hyper local, what's going on in your town, your area, your neighborhood, whether it is a local farmer's market or what's popping up for spring or ideas for gifts for Mother's Day, you name it, anything to do with stuff basically outside of real estate is going to get the most engagement. I met my real estate agent. His name is Sam Newman. You can look him up, Sam Newman, Denver Realtor. And we met because he creates videos on YouTube. So as my husband and I were for years planning our our move to Colorado, we started watching a lot of videos just on Colorado area neighborhoods and suburbs and restaurants and, just different areas because we didn't know anybody here. And so we started watching all these videos, and Sam was one of our favorite videos. We're always watching his videos. He did this best burger in Denver tour. He would do a lot of food stuff, which I was into. And finally, after a couple of videos, I was like, oh, he's a real estate agent. I had no idea. Long story short, I reached out to him, which kind of felt like a celebrity. I was a little bit nervous, not going to lie. Anyway, we became friends. We came to visit the following summer and had dinner. And now that we've moved, he came, did all the amazing work that realtors do on our behalf. And since we've moved in, we have hung out. We've gone out with his wife and his family. But we met on YouTube. He would send me market reports because I wanted a particular neighborhood at one point, and I would get my market reports every single week. And actually, I would get them every month. He would do monthly market reports, which was sufficient for me. So anyway, all that to be said, send out content that's going to build that like, know, and trust of stuff that's outside of real estate. Make it engaging, make it professional. Again, if you do not have a platform, you do now. I gave it to you guys for free. Tons of beautiful templates in there. We can create custom templates where the AI tool can actually, you can put your URL in and it can scrub your website and make all your templates branded with colors, logos, photos, layouts, all that good stuff. But make it engaging. Do something that's going to stand out, especially when it comes to your, like if you're doing a newsletter. Share your listings. Now, I know I said I want 80% kind of lifestyle type content, but the other 20% needs to be business. We need to be sharing our listings, not just on social media. Sometimes I almost hesitate when I talk about this because some agents will look at me like, well, of course, but you'd be surprised how most agents lean on posting on social media, but don't send their listing updates via email. And again, stats prove that people are engaging and making business decisions on email, whereas social media is simply building the awareness. So new listings just sold, open houses, price reductions, send an email out. You can see who's clicking, who's engaging, so you can further your marketing efforts with them. Send it in an email. Request referrals. This is my soapbox. Ding, ding, ding. I could probably teach on this for an hour. Ask for referrals and ask for reviews. If any of you have ever used a rideshare app like, Uber or Lyft, before we even get out of the car, the app is asking us for that 5-star review. Now, for a company that depends that we don't feed ourselves without referrals or without, getting business, right? And we're really bad about asking for reviews online. I mean, truly, we're really bad about asking for them intentionally. And this is your first impression. Listen, I won't even go out to eat for an expensive dinner without looking at reviews online. I always tell people now that I'm a grandma, looking at reviews on things means even more to me because I'm buying stuff on Amazon for my babies. And I want to make sure it's like not a choking hazard or what are other parents saying about this, because it's been 26 years since I've had babies. So that is absolutely crucial in your business, especially nowadays when the value of a realtor is under question. I had a friend of mine say to me, this was, I don't know, about a year or so ago, she sold her multi-million-dollar home for sale by owner, purchased a multi-million-dollar vacation home in Georgia, no agent, no representation. You and I both know that she would have gotten a significant more money if she listed with an agent. And she would have been representative in a better way as a buyer if she would have used an agent to represent her, who has a fiduciary responsibility for her. So we need to be better about showcasing the value of us as agents through the power of reviews. Don't just ask for reviews at the closing table. That's cool. Do it, right? I love that. But we make it look way too easy when we're just showing the end result, my friends. I want you guys to ask reviews when you start working with somebody even a year and a half before they close. Ask for the review of how patient you were driving around with Mr. and Mrs. Smith all Saturday for months, right? Or when you went through a heck of a time with that home inspection, or just whatever it might be. Sam, my realtor, did a video the other day. He was on a roof cleaning out some gutters and all this kind of stuff. And I want to make it such a focus of mine this year to empower agents to start showcasing what it means to be a real estate agent today. It is not sunshine and roses. Did you guys know the majority of licensed realtors in the US make under $50,000 a year? That's unbelievable to me. That's unbelievable. If the majority of agents are making under $50,000 a year, in some states, that's not even a livable income for a person. And it kills me because it's like, it is such a difficult industry when we don't leverage all these different types of things. And then we've got, the top 5% that are doing all the transactions. Why? Because the majority of agents aren't doing the things that we're talking about here today. get the reviews, showcase your value. I would never, ever step foot into a courtroom without representation, right? Knock on wood, I never have to. Would you ever, none of us should ever step foot into the largest transaction in our lives without representation. So my friends, I'm with you, but we need to showcase our value through reviews, showcase our values through video. Guys, do a video under 60 seconds, just talking about, how negotiation is important as an important part of the transaction. How you as an listing agent have a great skill at getting the most for your seller, but also finding the right buyer, right? Or connecting with the right buyer. All those things are important. We got to showcase it. All right. I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I am going to tell you a few stats because I got to have some stats to back up my passion. At least that's what my boss tells me. Okay. 93% of consumers say online reviews impact their purchasing decisions, right? We're all consumers. I agree. Businesses with over 40 positive reviews are going to see significant conversion rates. Businesses with positive reviews see a 31% increase of website traffic. Do you want more traffic to your website? Well, I'm going to tell you something about that. Have positive reviews and use landing pages. Landing pages, my friends, not just a website, landing pages plus your website. And 72% of consumers say positive reviews help them trust a business, right? Like, know, and trust. Thank you, Zig Ziglar. Now, when we're creating emails, we want to be careful of our attention spans. Not everything needs to be a big, long newsletter, okay? Remember, 88% of folks are checking emails on a phone, so keep things short, sweet, to the point. Have images, link those images. Why do we want to link things? Because we want clicks. We want to see who's engaging with what. So that if you're sending out that newsletter and you're posting your listing of 123 Main Street on that newsletter, and I see that, okay, I sent out this newsletter to 1,000 people, but I've got 15 people clicking on 123 Main Street. Now I want to highly target those 15 people. That's where you're going to see the conversion, my friends, not saying it and spraying it. We can't just spray stuff all over and just hoping something lands. It's not 1998 anymore. Okay. That's not the way marketing gets done. We have to be targeted. As consumers, we're targeted. We need to start incorporating that into our real estate business. Clicks are going to help you segment. Clicks are going to help you send content that's not, hey, Stephanie, thanks. I was thinking about you today and thinking it's a great time to sell. Let's look at the value of what your home is worth. Well, I mean, you just sold me my house last week. Why are you sending me this email, right? We all make those mistakes. We got to stop doing it because 52% of people are likely to switch brands if content isn't targeted. All right. How do we write a good email? I always chuckle at this. It's like, really, girl? We've been sending emails for a long time. No. How do we write a good email? Hook. What are you offering? What's going to get my attention so I open that email? Provide the value. This is where we struggle because we're not good writers or we don't know what to say. And what should they do next? One, call to action. So let's start with that subject line. What is going to be the kind of stuff that is going to get me to click on your email? Questions, FOMO, right? Make me feel like, oh gosh, I don't want to miss out on this. Questions are going to make me, kind of inquisitive. Humor. Don't be afraid to be funny. It doesn't always have to be like the top 10 neighborhoods in XYZ, right? Listen, maybe that wasn't a great example because I kind of like numbers. Numbers do get good click rates, but it doesn't always have to be just kind of that very mundane business kind of information. Do things that are going to grab my attention. Okay. I pause on this because this is a little bit of fake out. Okay. These are things you need to know. We don't want to end up in spam. I get calls from realtors all day, every day that will say things like, hey, I want to know more about Constant Contact because I'm in spam folders all the time, or I'm in promotion folders. And we've been around for over 30 years. Our reputation is we have the #1 email deliverability in the world. Not the coolest and sexiest thing to talk about when people don't understand what that means. But if you're ending up in spam folders or promotion folders, what's the point of doing your marketing? So these are things that are going to keep you out of spam folders. Don't write in all caps in those subject lines. Avoid words like free or guarantee or spam, excessive punctuation. I was so guilty of that before because I'm excitable. So I use a lot of exclamation points. These are things that are going to put you in spam. But here's the good news, my friends. AI, thank you. You help us even when we don't realize you're helping us. In Constant Contact, which I gave you, this will never happen to you because the AI will filter this. AI can even create your subject lines by scanning the email, reading that context, and creating a subject line that's appropriate. So that's a little bit of fake out. You guys don't have to worry about these things anymore. But if you are not using us or a platform that doesn't do this, I want to make sure you have that information. Cool? No caps. Don't use the trigger words. Don't use too much punctuation. All right. Targeting our audience. Getting the right content to the right people at the right time. I told you guys this. 52% of people are going to switch brands if their content isn't targeted. If you're targeting me in about homes in Michigan and I live in Colorado, not so much interested. I might not pay attention to you. We need to make sure that we're targeting the right kind of people. Now, there could be, different areas of like, hey, vacation homes, things like that. But at the end of the day, guys, it is really important that we are utilizing more advanced marketing techniques, such as the example I gave you. You send a newsletter out to everybody. The 15 people who are engaging with that piece of content, send relevant content to that. Don't just send it to everyone. I use this example a lot. And this is, if you're a visual person like me, this helps me really understand how targeting has changed over the years. Targeting, I saw this video and it had a big, huge, long staircase, think like the Rocky stairs. And at the top of the staircase had a big, giant, bin of ping pong balls. And at the bottom of the stairs had a glass jar, like a big glass cylinder. And the ping pong balls got dumped out. And probably millions of ping pong balls are going down the stairs. Not one of them went inside the jar. It just went right over it. That's what it's like when we're just spraying our marketing out everywhere. Whereas in the next video, there was somebody throwing the ping pong balls one at a time and like one out of every 3 landed. So targeting is going to allow that message to land and you're going to see more ROI from it. All right, I got a question from James. How important is it to get our sphere of influence permission to send them emails like you're suggesting? Should we be doing that before sending them a weekly email? So great question, James, because permission-based marketing is what I'm in the business of, whether it comes to email or text. So oftentimes with email, if you have somebody's email that they gave you, that's permission enough. Typically when you're going to have issues with permission is when you are uploading big lists. With Constant Contact, we keep imposters out. We're going to make sure that you can't just go and buy a list somewhere and import 10,000 contacts in there. You don't necessarily have to send them any type of like text or email to get their permission. When you have their contact information, then they're gonna discontinue you if they don't want you, or unsubscribe if they don't want you to send stuff anymore. With text, it's a little bit different. You're gonna have, like through Constant Contact, we will send an email out that is going to ask to opt in to receiving SMS. How important is it? Very important. But if you have a list that you are continuously building and you're obtaining the lists organically, then you are absolutely fine. That is one of the things that we coach on all the time. For anybody, if they have questions about importing lists, that's one of the things that our team will help you guys with, to make sure that you have full permission for everything you're sending. Great question. I love it. All right, time to demo some magic. Here's some examples of what that looks like, of how we can leverage AI to simply create content that's going to make our lives easier, get that email out once a week. Let's say you're having an open house. This is an example within Constant Contact, but you guys can leverage these same ideas in other areas. Put in the information into the content creator. All right, I'm creating an email. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. My goodness. We're making it an announcement. I want it to be enthusiastic because I'm excited. Click of a button, done. It will literally create the whole email, including your branding. It'll pull in your colors, logos, and photos from your website, create the hook, the value, the call to action. You're done. Like, that's it. Like, that's how simple it is. Another example, you want to be a thought leader. All right, here's my example. All right, inventory is low. Interest rates are still high, but it's still a great time to buy. Ooh, I want to deliver this message to my audience. I'm going to put it in my newsletter. I want it to be informative because I'm branding myself as a thought leader in this industry. Click of a button. It's going to create all the content, pull in your colors, logos, photos, layouts, and you just created a beautiful piece of content in what, 2.5 seconds? Now, I always say you're the CEO of your business, my friends. Okay. As a CEO, you got to look over what your marketing robots just did for you. Make sure everything's good. Give it a little scan. Make sure everything looks great. Bada bing, bada boom. You're done. There is no reason you guys cannot send an email once a week anymore. Very, very simple. AI can literally create it for you. All right, let's dive into social media. So I'm not on here forever. Darwin's going to be like, my goodness, I need to ask someone that's not as long-winded on our next call. All right, social media is valuable. We know it. You need to be on it. 10 years ago, I used to say you should be on it, especially Facebook. And I still say the same now. I say you got to, right? There's no skirting around it. In order to scale at the level that you want to scale, you've got to make sure that you guys are utilizing social media. I'm sure most of you have some form of it. So my question to you guys, you don't have to like tell me or call yourselves out, but I want you to think internally. How many of you are active and consistent on your social media? The majority of us would say, yeah, I have Facebook and I think I have Instagram. I'm never on it, right? But it's not enough to just have it. We've got to be on it. We've got to be consistent. We've got to have a plan for it. My goal for you guys, 2 to 3 times per week. But if you're not super active, you got to start somewhere once a week. Okay. I'm going to show you how AI can help you. The reality is your buyers and sellers are on social media. You've got to be too. The value of social media, we want to turn those followers into subscribers, right? We want to turn them into our sphere of influence. We want to pull them from internet land and pull them into email land because that's where business gets done, right? So we want to create clients for life. We want to connect with local businesses. We want to connect with our community. Chances are you're going to feel more comfortable connecting with a local business on social media than calling them. Am I right? Right? But we want to get them to remember us. Highlight a local business, a local restaurant. There's a Mexican restaurant my husband and I love. We go there once a week. Okay. I think it's a great thing to be able to say like, hey, restaurant owner, I would love to highlight you as my restaurant of the week in my email. I would love to highlight you as my restaurant of the month in my newsletter. They would love that. That's great content. When they buy or sell, they're going to think of the agent that was writing about them. Guess what? You say great things about them. They'll share it to their social media and they're probably connected with a lot more people than you are. Talk about branding, guys. Super simple. Hey, if you don't want to write it, have them write it. You could slap it in your newsletter. Super, super simple things, guys, that make a massive difference. We want to get the most eyes on our properties, utilize it to post your listing updates, of course. I'll talk about the details in a second. Develop that online personality, develop that brand recognition. Again, I want to know you. I want to connect with you as a person. So here are my non-negotiables: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. No questions. You got to be on all 3 of these. 41% of small business owners are active on LinkedIn. Small business owners buy and sell homes. Guys, LinkedIn's my absolute favorite for me personally. Especially with connecting with folks in the tech space. Obviously, I connect with a lot of realtors and brokers. Photo-based Instagram, again, if a photo is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1,000,000. And of course, Facebook, massive audience, over 2 billion users. But what about TikTok, Steph? All right, here's my deal. And I say this every class I do. Listen, I'm not going to be the person that tells you have to be on TikTok. If you don't want to be on TikTok, don't. If you think it's ridiculous, if you're uncomfortable with it, don't be on it. The value of TikTok is the short form video content. That's what gave it its rise to prominence. Okay. But if you do want to be on it, the value is massive reach, 150 million users on it. 83% of consumers prefer content that's short form. And this is a short form video content platform. And numbers don't lie. 37% increase in lead generation is what we're seeing with realtors who are using TikTok. But here's the thing. Again, maybe I'm showing my age, but if you don't want to be on TikTok, you do not have to. You can use video and leverage video on other platforms, right? The value's in the video. Lights, camera, action, guys. Get out there. If you're not comfortable on video, don't be on the video. Showcase your community, video other people, right? Showcase that property, showcase that restaurant, showcase your mortgage lender. Hey, Mr. Mortgage Lender, you want to do a video for me on what's going on with interest rates? Do you want to talk to me about these grants in this area or whatever it might be? Video other people, but let's use video, increase that engagement. This is not a typo. Listings with video receive 403 more inquiries. And guys, I'm not talking about the virtual tours. That's not what I'm talking about, or slideshows of the pictures. I'm talking get on video, talk about the property, do something cool and snazzy, or simply walk around with your phone, start somewhere. That is not a typo. That's 0. 403 more inquiries than those without video. That's according to NAR. Higher retention. People retain more in a video than they do when they're reading it. And video marketers see 66% more qualified leads per year and have a 54% increase in brand awareness. So, mic drop. I don't know what more to say. I can't help you with that. I can't follow you around with the video camera all day, but I can tell you that it's massively powerful. I can tell you that it is so important. I can speak to you as a consumer who used a real estate agent because of video, because that's what hooked me from another state. The other thing I want to say about video, speaking to my Michigan friends here, is everybody here from Michigan, or am I just talking crazy? Everyone here is Michigan, right? Yes. Okay. Thank you. So my husband and I, now that we are definitely not close to retirement by any means, but we are empty nesters. So I'm in that like pre-retirement stage, right? I don't know that I'll ever retire, but we are looking at all these kind of videos for traveling, and we want to get an Airstream, and we want to do all the things. And this video of the week that we've been watching, it was all about Michigan, Traverse City to be more specific, but holy smokes, my friends. I used to say that I think that Colorado and California are the most beautiful states in the country. Truly, they're beautiful, right? We've got everything. But you know what's underestimated? Michigan. I think Michigan, top 5. Gorgeous. My husband could not believe the videos we were watching. He's like, that's not the ocean. I was like, no, my friend, that is not the ocean. I've been in Traverse City. I taught at the association at Traverse City. That is a beautiful blue lake, and it is amazing. I don't even remember why I started. Oh, I know, because of video. Y'all need to be sharing video about the beautiful state that you live in. You guys need to be showing people like us that are our minds are blown. Like, we cannot wait to do like 10 days traveling around Michigan in our Airstream. There's so many places to go. I'm living for it. So you guys live in a place. I say this to my Florida folks. That's a great place everything is a good place for video. But when you live in a state that we're fortunate enough that we have a lot to show off, like you guys do, leverage it. Okay. I'm going to speed through. I promised Darwin, I'm going to keep myself on time. I'm doing this. Okay. What kind of content's good content for social media? Hyperlocal, right? New listings just sold. Here's what I want to say about your listings. Always make sure you're linking your listing updates to a website or a landing page. So many agents are posting listing updates on social media. Again, people are scrolling so fast through it that if you're not giving me something to click on, that's going to take me to the property, I recommend a landing page because it gets more lead capture. It has higher SEO. But again, your website, front door to your business, make sure you guys have it linked. And then, of course, your value prop. What makes you valuable? Why do I want to use you? How are you going to help me? And how am I going to connect with you in a real way that's going to make you different than the other 10 realtors around the lake for me? Everything we're doing on social media is to build your list. All of it. It's all about building awareness, driving traffic, build your list. Guys, your retirement's in your list, your kids' college education, your vacation, your Airstream, all those things, whatever your dreams and desires are for your financial future, it's going to come from that list. So social media can be handled by AI as well, because we do not have the time to do all of it. I get it. Here's an example within Constant Contact. On the right-hand side here, you see we've got Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Tell AI what you want to post about. Tell AI to give you an image, or if it's an open house, obviously use images of the property. It'll create it all for you right there. Like, it will create a Facebook post, a LinkedIn post, an Instagram post. It'll format it properly for that platform. If you want to take the newsletter that you created, it will format it to post the newsletter with like a little teaser on social media and link it back to your newsletter. Now you're getting more subscribers. Done. Click of a button. So we're creating emails within seconds. We're creating social posts within seconds. I've just freed up hours of your week to get out there and shake hands and kiss babies, right? Because your digital marketing, if you guys set aside like an hour every Monday and an hour every Wednesday to work on this kind of stuff, schedule it all out. Somebody asked me, how far in advance should you schedule emails to be sent? Up to you. Up to you. If you want to create, if you're just like on a kick one Saturday morning and you just want to create like 3 different ones, you could schedule those out. Or if you want to just do it every Sunday night, maybe you create your newsletter that goes out on Wednesday. That's totally fine as well. I would recommend don't schedule anything more than like a month because things change. All right. Last piece of the puzzle for the trifecta, SMS marketing. Stephanie, what is the difference between texting and SMS? We all text. Text is one-to-one, right? I'm sending you a text. Hey, Darwin, I'll be right there. Hey, Darwin, thanks for having me. SMS marketing is one-to-many, right? It's another marketing channel that we're going to send out an update to everyone who opts into receiving texts from me, which will probably be about 50% of your list when you start. And it's giving updates. Hey, don't forget, open house today, 12 to 2. Or, hey, farmer's market at XYZ. Check it out. Those are the kind of things you're going to want to utilize text for. Now, it does start with permission. Just like we were talking about with email, texting needs permission. So if you're thinking, people aren't going to want to get text from me, I don't want to annoy people, you can't even send them an SMS campaign without their permission. So with your Constant Contact account, there's templates in there, and we can automate. If you opt into using SMS marketing, we'll send an email to your entire database to get people to opt in. Like, hey, would you like to receive updates from me via text? I got one recently from Delta. Delta said, hey, do you want to get text messages? I was like, heck yes, because I want to know live time notifications. Same idea. I bet you all your buyers and sellers are going to want live time notifications. That's for sure. Sending text messages, again, you're interrupting what I'm doing, right? I get a text from you. It could be in the middle of dinner. Whereas email, I have to check my email. I have to check my socials. So we want to make sure with great power comes great responsibility, right? That we're sending out valuable content, that we're being mindful of time frames. I love you, but I don't want to get a text from you at midnight or at 5 a.m. Identify yourself, stay timely, stay relevant, be unique, bring value. Bath and Body Works, I saw you up in my social media around the holidays. It's usually when I buy Bath and Body Works stuff. Then I got the email. Ooh, okay, I got my coupon for 40% off. Then on Black Friday, I'm walking in the mall and I get my reminder that I get an additional buy 3, get 3 free plus my 40% off coupon. I'm in the store, right? That trifecta of marketing, it works. We got to start implementing it in real estate. So let's develop a plan. Let's automate it. We're going to do an email once a week. We're going to do social media once a week or 2 to 3 times per week. That's our goal. We want to start using SMS marketing. I want you to start with email and text. With email and social. Then you can start incorporating your text messaging. We can use it all together. They all have value. People say, which one's the most important, Steph? Start with email and social media. Add text on once you're comfortable with that, because your social media, think about it like a party, the big party. Everyone's invited. Further down that funnel, we've got the after party. That's your email. That's where business gets done. And even further down that funnel, that's your engaged, your top 10, your active buyers. Those are going to be the people who are receiving text messages from you. We want to harness the strengths of all of these together, that broad reach, detailed, familiar information, and that VIP tier. All right. Here's my mic drop. How can we tie this all together with AI? How can we use AI to help us to be trifecta marketers? Because even still, as easy as it is, maybe you're like, hey, I'm having this open house, but am I going to have to okay, I got to create the email and I got to create the social post. And then how often should I send it out? Well, you know what, my friends, even though we can do all of these individually, sometimes it's hard to create an actual campaign. We're not professional marketers. So I don't know how far out I should start marketing my open house. And should I send the email and the social media in the same week, or should I spread it out? I used to teach on these things, and I would teach whole day seminars, but now I'm going to teach you guys in about 3 minutes. You guys can literally go in. All right, I'm going to have an open house. I'm going to tell my AI tool, okay, I've got an open house coming up. Describe the details. Maybe you're having a champagne, mimosa day. Maybe you're having a door prize, whatever it might be. Just give the details, even if it's just address and times. Do you want to market this to everybody in your database or just a select bunch? All right, put the dates in. This is the date of my campaign, or I should say of my event. And it's 2 weeks away. Let the AI professional marketing robots decide what that cadence is going to be for those campaigns. You're in real estate. You make your money in real estate. Any last minute details? All right, hands off. Let's let it work for about 3 minutes. It's going to analyze your goals, the time frame. It's going to decide best practices. What should we do? We want to incorporate LinkedIn. We want to incorporate Facebook. We want to incorporate Instagram. We want to create a landing page. Maybe we're doing an event where you need to register. All the things. You're done. It will create it all for you, and it'll schedule it for you. That's it. In a snap, you have become a trifecta marketer. You've got the email. You've got the social media. You're creating the engagement. You're getting more detailed information. For people who are opted into text, it's crafting the text for you. You look it over because you're the CEO of your business. Done. Holy moly. This has made my life easier. My life teaching agents how to do all this stuff is so much easier. AI can help you with tracking. You can't manage what you can't measure, my friends. 40% of agents report increased efficiency when AI tracks. But at the end of the day, I want you guys to know this. AI never replaces the agent. Now, the use of AI is going to separate the good agents from the great agents, right? Those who are leveraging tech are going to advance in nowadays market. Most people aren't door knocking anymore. It's a little different. But you still power your brand. You are the emotional intelligence behind the AI, right? So everything we feed it, just know this is going to help us as a tool to become more efficient. While we still get out there, the real estate industry will never stop being a relationship building business for those who are the most successful. If that ever changes, I'm going to hang up my marketing hat. But I truly believe that I want to buy and I want to do business with people that I like, know, and trust, that are people I'm not going to forget about. We can use AI to work smarter and not harder. But I truly believe by leveraging these tools, you'll be like my mom, who went into the grocery store and somebody said, "Hey, Marlise, are you still doing mortgages?" And she calls me. She's like, "I've been doing mortgages for 40 years in the same town. Why would so-and-so think that?" And I said, "Mom, because when they go on social media, they have no idea that you are a mortgage lender. None. They know you're a good grandma, but they don't know you're a mortgage lender." So we need to make sure that people know that I sell real estate. I serve in this community. This is what I'm an expert at. So when I'm ready to buy or sell, you're the name that comes to top of mind. That's the power. AI can help us. Okay. So quick little plug. Constant Contact. You guys all have it here for free. It is not just email. It's not just social. It's not just text, but there's landing pages. You can upgrade and opt into Google Ads if you want to do Google Ads, but you can manage events, list management tools. You can do surveys, all kinds of things. All of it's here to help you grow. Our team will help you create landing pages or build events. We have customer support. That's amazing. They're all here in the States and they answer the phone when you call them, the basic stuff. We can integrate into your sales CRM. Remember your sales CRM, whether you're using KV Core or Bold Trail or Follow Up Boss or Chime or whatever you're using for a CRM, that helps you manage the deal. A marketing CRM helps you get the deal, right? That's the difference. So I think I did good. Look at that. Wrapped up on time. I can ask any questions if you guys need it. Thank you so much. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. Any other questions? If you guys want to unmute your mics and ask some live questions, I'm here for it. Thank you.
Yeah, and I haven't seen anything come in. You've got them as they popped up. So
yeah, I think
Stephanie,
we're good.
a wonderful job. Love your energy. I love the amount of information you threw out. And obviously Constant Contact is something that somebody can use overall, and it would complement the other products that they receive as part of our value package, being with the professionals family. So
that's right. That's right. Yep.
I think you've got everything out there. If anybody needs anything, they know how to be able to get it. And the QR code is there, guys.
That's right.
So take a quickie and scan that. I do have this recorded.
Cool.
So Stephanie will be out there for replay. If you need to hear things again, know that it's on the, just go to YouTube, type in HRC Agent Development, and you'll be able to find the video there. Probably I get them up no later than a day after, which would be tomorrow. So
I love it. Yes.
There is a
Thank you.
question there for pricing structure, if you want to hit that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the pricing structure is on the website, but I will give you guys a quick insight. Our pricing structure is based on contact size. Why do we do that? Because a brand new agent that has 10 people in their database shouldn't pay the same as a seasoned agent with 10,000 people in their database, right? So it starts at $12. Average realtor usually spends about $40 based on average list size of I don't know, 5 to 10-year agent. So definitely go and check that for our standard package. And you guys all get 30% off your first 3 months. We're going to, when you get a trial through that QR code, you guys can always upgrade there, but definitely take advantage of the discount. Take advantage of my team to ask any questions. And thank you so much for having me. I hope you guys learned something. Thank you, Darwin. I appreciate you.
You got it. Thank you. Also,
Have a great
hey,
one,
that wraps
guys.
up another Hot Topic Tuesday. You got a twofer on this one. We'll see you next week. So y'all know this week in real estate. So we're going to bunch of different things that Darwin's run into, that all kinds of questions have come my way. That's what's going to be happening next Tuesday. See you next week, 11:59. Have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.